Good morning. It's Roland from East Marsh Acres. It's Tuesday, August the 5th, and I'm going to be starting a number of projects, but before we can get to all of that, and it is just darned hot still, we're projected to be over 30 degrees again today, which may not sound much for those in the south, etc., but for us in Canada, it's been a prolonged at least a month, and as you can tell by the color of the grass, etc., not the garden because we've been watering the garden, but the grass is all brown because we have not had rain in about 5 or 6 weeks. Nothing significant anyways. We hit a few millimeters every once in a while, and there is nothing in the forecast for the foreseeable future for the next 2 weeks. But that indicates that we're actually going to get any rain either. So I'm going to bring you along on the chores that we have for just today, and as we do some planning for the next step. Just to give you a clue as to where we're going, I need to fix rain barrels and that kind of stuff so that we can collect any rain when it does come. But in addition to that work, I am going to be working on this area here, which looks like an impenetrable mass of willows at this point, silex of some kind. And I'm going to be hacking through this and establishing a section where we are going to be putting a bridge across. So you can see where the water hose is coming through right now, but we'll put a bridge across that in the same area, and we'll use it to actually go from one section of our property to the other. So that's one of the major projects that we have planned for the next little while. Before we get there though, I'm going to go to some of our chores. All I'm doing is just pulling hose so that I can move the sprinkler. We've got a sprinkler going, and it can do, if we got the wind with it, about half of the garden at a time. So I'm just going to reset this particular one. This has been going since early this morning, and put it on the back half of the garden, starting about here or so. And let's see where that gets us. Not going to quite do all of it. We may have to do another little section with reduced pressure. As you can see, the beans are coming along. So these are the green beans, but they're purple to begin with. They're starting to bloom. You can see some of the blooms and little purple flowers. The kale is doing very, very well. And unlike some other people in terms of their preferences, I will never wear a no kale, never t-shirt. I'm of Dutch heritage. Kale is a staple. You mix it in, chop it up, mix it in with potatoes and sausages, and it becomes a delicious dish that we call stompot in Dutch, and it's one of our favorite meals. We also eat kale as a salad, part of a salad, or you can do a number of different kinds of things with it. Very high in a lot of the minerals, and because it's greens, it's going to be giving you a lot of the nutrients that your body actually needs, and we actually enjoy it. So you will always find us with some kale growing at some point. We've also got some other cabbages. Our cabbages do not apparently do particularly well here for whatever reason. I'm not sure what that is all about. But we'll be harvesting. Oh, and another nice thing about the kale is that it's actually cold resistant, so you can actually grow it early in the spring and later on into the fall. In fact, we can leave kale after it's actually frozen, and the kale will be fine as long as it doesn't continue to freeze. Kale has very little water content, relatively speaking, and as a consequence it doesn't rupture the cells as easily as, for instance, the lettuce or something along those lines. So it's much more flexible in terms of the cold treatment. All right, here's the other job for today. As you can tell, we are starting to harvest tomatoes. So there's a few ripe ones available. But tomato plants themselves are a bit on the unruly side. For instance, take a look at this one, which is growing all over the place. And so I need to go in and do some pruning of the tomato plants. We've got some larger beefsteak tomatoes, etc., that are starting to form fruits, etc. So I'm going to go in there, and I'm not going to bring you along because you've seen it before, but the idea is for me to actually get as much pruned and hung. I'll be using these plastic clips. So the clip itself, it connects to the string, and it holds on to the tomato plant, or the pepper plant, or green onions, or whatever we actually have that's needing some support. Anyways, I'm going to get in there and hopefully not die of exhaustion. Not sure what the temperature is, but it's definitely several degrees higher than it is out here. Tomatoes and peppers apparently are loving it. I'll see how long I can tolerate it. Anyways, we'll talk to you again afterwards. Okay, it's 10 to 2, same day, and I've just basically gotten through pruning this outside row. As you can see by the amount of discard on the ground in between two rows, there's a fair amount that I was taking out as being very aggressive, ruthless, and I still have, well, these ones are not too bad in the middle row, but I still have the outside row to do. Things are looking pretty good though. I mean, they're producing, and there's lots of vigorous growth, and I need to move the sprinkler one more time. It's lunchtime, and then I'm going inside. I am about done. Yeah, I think that's it for today, and we'll bring you back for the rest of the week as I start moving ahead with some major projects rather than upkeep of the garden, which should be settling down now that most of the weeding is done. It's just maintenance, being able to keep up, and I think we're sitting okay. Talk to you soon. Good morning. It's Wednesday, August the 6th. This is Roland from East Marsh Acres, and I'm about ready to actually do some of the initial planning for the bridge that we're going to take across the swale. It's dry right now, but during the spring it usually is, maybe up to about there or so with water on both sides. Basically the swale, we had to leave it in place under an agreement with Orca, which is our local conservation authority, Otsunabi Conservation, Regional Conservation Authority, yeah, I guess. Anyways, the swale is designed to take runoff from that house and this house. It's quite low actually in the back of our neighbor's house, and it's designed to actually bring water from underneath the driveway where we had to put a culvert in, and it brings it all the way down this area past our chicken runs. Into this area, which is basically where the swale becomes a tributary of this little creek that runs down the edge of our property all the way to the road. There are a couple of culverts underneath the road, and it takes the water into the marsh on the other side of the road. And so the challenge here is to clean out much of the underbrush that you're actually seeing, so that we have an open path for the actual bridge itself, which is not going to be all that wide, probably 12 to 16 feet long, and then I've got 8-foot decking that I'd like to cut in half, so giving us a 4-foot span, wide enough essentially to walk across and to bring the wagon with us, Henry as we call him. And so what I'll need to do is start cutting the goldenrod that you're actually seeing starting to burst into flame. Some of these have bolls on them, so that's an insect that has burrowed into the center of the stem and laid eggs, and so there are larvae of whatever fly that actually creates those kinds of pieces. And so I'll need to get down, take out probably this willow and this willow and maybe the one in behind. It's already been damaged by the ice storm earlier this year, and then I also have to be very careful of the water line that is coming across the swale as well. Anyways, this is going to be a multi-day journey, and I need to actually clear this out so I can measure the exact positions of the posts on this side, the posts on that side, and how it's actually going to cross the water itself. Anyways, we'll take you along on the journey. I don't have another pair of hands to actually help me with the recording. Probably when I get past this stage, I'll bring out the other camera so it can track what I'm actually doing without sound, and we'll include that into the actual video itself. But we'll get started, and I'll let you know my progress after I've been working for a bit. Okay, I didn't make it very far, but I got some stuff done. You can start to see an opening there, and I need to go there. So this is the other side of the swale where you can actually see the opening through the willows that I've started taking down. So that tree needs to come yet, and this one, otherwise it will potentially fall on the bridge, and then we'd have to repair the bridge. So let's not go that way. As you can see, we've already opened up the space here so that we can put some landscape fabric and some more of our wood chips in the same way that we've done that one, and the ones by the garden. We'll continue to extend those. We've got lots of wood chips yet to go, Right, that's going to call it for today. I'm about done and have nothing more left. Talk to you soon. Good morning. It's Roland from East Marsh Acres, and it's Thursday, so the next day. And I'm here clearing underbrush before I get to basically that tree there needs to come out. And this tree right in front of me needs to come out. And then the big one in behind, which is what I was working on yesterday already. So that one, and the big one. And then basically, I guess there's another one or two on the other side that will need to be addressed as well. But I'm here with underbrush to begin with, and I'll get to the chainsaw a little bit later. I need to also watch out for the hose which comes down through here. So it's our main irrigation for the gardens on the other side. So we have to be very careful of what we're doing with them. And they of course are built into the underbrush at this point in time. So I'll start on some branches because I've run across these branches to begin with. So there's some there and there's some down below, and then I can go back to the underbrush again. Anyways, we'll take you along. I know that I promised the big camera. I just don't want to bother with that because I'm back and forth to a few different areas all the time, so it'd be resetting, and I just want to get as much of this cut as soon as possible. And then when we start the construction, I'll certainly bring you along for all of that fun. Anyways, talk to you soon. Okay, I've been at it for a couple of hours. I'd like to show you what I've got done. So I did some trimming with the bushwhacker along the edge here, so you can see the outlines of where we're actually going to be putting the walkway. Haven't done this side yet because we're primarily going to be going straight down through here. As you can see, I've decimated this tree. I need to get to the point where I'm using the chainsaw, but that won't be today. So here's a pile. There's another pile that you can see past the service berry or whatever that bush is. It's not a service berry, something else. And you can see that there's a clear path now through the swale to where the gardens start on this side. So we'll be putting the bridge straight across through here. So that tree needs to come. That tree, which is split, needs to come out. I think I'm going to take this side and that side. Don't know about this tree, probably take that one too. And over here, take these little scrubs. And these more substantial trees here. There's a one in behind it yet. Maybe some in the middle of the swale, just to clean it out a little bit. So there's lots to do for the next day of clearing, but I am going in. It is supposed to be close to 30 again today, and it's just too hot for this kind of work. Anyways, I am going in, and I will update this whenever I get back to it, probably tomorrow, which is Friday. Talk to you soon. Hi, it's Roland from East Marsh Acres, and yeah, it's a week later. The weather was hotter than blazes, so for the most part I stayed inside. I'm working with several doctoral students and a supervisor, so that means that after their defense I actually have to read through the changes that they make to their thesis, their dissertation, their book, and that's been happening for 3 of my students this past week. 2 of them are ready to go, and third one still has some work to do. But in the meantime, I've been working on clearing out the space where I'm going to be building the bridge across the swale. So there's the swale. It moves from that direction to that direction, which is essentially sort of southeast to northwest. And during the spring, through the winter, there's quite a bit of water in here, to the extent where you see the darker soil that gets covered, but it'll actually come up to this kind of level on this side and maybe up to there or so on that side. So what I've done is cleared out all the scrub willow, so you can see that I've piled it up. We'll get somebody in to chip it. So it's there, and then there's another pile over there. There was one big tree, the rest was all scrub for the most part. And they're largish trees from time to time. There's another one there, and there's another one there, and more there, and one largest one here. And so what I'm going to be doing is building a bridge, 3 sets of 2x10s, 2x8s, something along those lines, 2x10s probably, pressure treated, across this section. We'll put it up on concrete posts made from, we'll put some holes in the ground down to 4 feet so that we don't end up with them being heaved as a consequence of frost during the winter. So I'll do that sometime, either this week or next week, and then build on top of that. So I'll end up with runs of probably 3 by 18, maybe 20 feet across, so that it's level. And then, so we'll have a pathway leading from here. We'll cover this with landscape fabric and lots of our wood chips. And the same thing on this side, leading to the front side of the back garden. And I'm going to cover the deck of the bridge Trish is getting ready for having a brooder. So we've got chicks coming later this week. Anyways, we've got these Trex boards. They're 8 foot or longer, and I'm going to cut them in half so we end up with 4 foot treads essentially going across the rest. They're all recycled plastic, virtually indestructible. So I'll use those as a means of giving our deck, and then the posts are for another project that you'll see as well. So I think it'll provide us with pretty good access as we're going across from this side to the other side. It's going to be a lot easier than walking around the on the driveway itself. So this is the major project that I'm involved with, and I'm going to cut off the video here, even though the project is not complete. I want to do a little bit of work here, so that I'm just cleaning up this scrub, it's willow, and take it out of the way of walking through, and then start building the actual bridge itself. Fairly simple design, I think. Took it off the internet, YouTube in fact, and we'll see where we go. The other thing that needs to be done sometime this fall, I think we'll get some professionals in to do it, is to take down these trees that were damaged during the ice storm. You can see one leaning there. There's another one that's broken, and another one that's broken. One in the foreground is broken, and then there's a bunch of trees in the background. So some of the birches etc., that need to be taken down as well. Anyhow, so I wanted to bring you up to date and let you know what we're up to. So the temperatures were a little bit better today. I think we ended up with a high of 24. Overnight temperatures were wonderful, 11 and 12. So hopefully we get some more rain, and that allows us to start regenerating our reserves in terms of the water that's available. It looks like Albie has already grown accustomed to going across in this direction, so he doesn't have to go all the way down to the driveway. I think he's looking for rabbits. Anyways, I will call it there. So here you can see the direction of the deck, where we spend a fair amount of time when it's not too hot, and we'll be able to actually see across to see what the chickens are up to and what the garden's doing, etc., as well as having some additional access. We'll clean up the wood chips and the dirt that we have here. There are a couple of little projects that I have to do. So we had blueberry bushes here, so there's a little bit of a dip there, and there, and another there. So there were 4 of them, and I always ride into them with the tractor. Get a bit of a dip out of it. Anyways, that brings us, I think, to the end, and I'll call it there. Thank you for coming along, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. We certainly do appreciate that, and if you've got any comments, questions, etc., let us have them, and we'll respond. We haven't had much of that, but I'd like to get into a little bit more of that now that my administrative duties are over, and I can get to supporting my classes and grad students. Anyways, talk to you soon. Bye.